Hello everyone, welcome back to Comment Made Easy, and I hope you all are doing very well. Before we begin, let me remind my dear students that the contents of this channel are only to supplement your knowledge, not to replace the regular online and offline classes in your institution. So please attend your classes and do not miss them. Also, if you like our contents, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the videos and share these videos with your friends, with your batchmates, with your juniors. Also, if you are a teacher, then with your students. Please follow our Facebook page and the link will be given in the description. Today we shall have a very short discussion on stratified random sampling, which is the third technique of probability sampling. Stratified random sampling is most suitable for a population that is heterogeneous. Now, in a given population, if people belong to different religions, having different socioeconomic status, that means these people have characteristics which are not very similar to each other. So that is not a homogeneous population, rather it is a heterogeneous population, and for such population stratified random sampling is a suitable sampling technique. Now, the goal of conducting stratified random sampling is to guarantee that all groups in the population are adequately represented. So when we are selecting our samples for the study, it is guaranteed that people, or rather better to say, samples from different religions, or rather all religions are selected. Also, samples are selected from each and every socioeconomic classes. So that is why we can ensure that people belonging to different categories, different characteristics are selected as sample. It helps in analyzing by certain characteristics like gender, religion, socioeconomic status, education, occupation. So whatever are the basis on which we are stratifying the whole population and then selecting the samples from these individual parts, individual strata, it will help us to analyze the whole set of data based on these characteristics. What are the steps of conducting a stratified random sampling? First, the population is divided into homogeneous, mutually exclusive subgroups called strata, and the singular of strata is stratum. So first we divide the big population into small subgroups known as strata, and these subgroups are homogeneous and they are mutually exclusive. Then from each group or stratum we select the required number of samples or study subjects, either by simple random sampling or by systematic random sampling. These two techniques have already been discussed in our previous videos. While selecting the subjects from each stratum, proportion to the original population is also maintained. I will explain this sentence with an example very shortly. Now here I have given an example about how to conduct a stratified random sampling. Suppose we have 200 students in our class, and again, just like previous videos, we also need a sample of 20 subjects for our study. So there are certain information that have been provided here. These 200 students, 70% of them are from urban areas, and also girl comprise 50% of all students. So the population size is 200 capital N, small n is the sample size, that is 20. Urban and rural ratio. So 70% is from urban, that means 30% of the students are from rural area. So 70 is to 30, or you can say 7 is to 3. This ratio, or as I mentioned earlier, the proportion based on residence. So urban is to rural is 7 is to 3. Also the girl comprise 50% of all students. So girl and boys are equal in number. So 1 is to 1 ratio. Now I have 200 students, that is my population. First I have to divide my population into two different groups. First I have selected the strata based on residence. So 70% are from urban areas. So 70% of 200 students is 140. So you can say 140 students are from urban areas and rest 60 students are from rural areas. We also know that the boy and girl ratio is 1 is to 1. So this 140 students from urban area if the boys and girls ratio is 1:1, we can say that there are 70 girls from urban area and 70 boys from urban areas. Similarly, these 60 students, 30 of them will be girls coming from rural areas and 30 of them will be boys coming from rural areas. Next, what I do is I select the required number of sample from this stratum. So how many stratum we have? We have 4 stratum. This is urban girl, urban boy, rural girl and rural boy. So I will select required number of samples from each stratum until I have 20 samples. That is the required number of sample for my study. So by means of simple random sampling or systematic random sampling, I have selected 7 students out of 70 students from the first stratum. Similarly, another 7 students from the 70 students have been selected from the second stratum. And by the same method, I have also selected 3 students from the 30 students and 3 students from the 30 students. So at the end, I have 7 urban girl students, 7 urban boy students, 3 rural girl students and 3 rural boy students. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 3 is 17, plus 3 20. So I have 20 students which are my sample. So as you can see, by this method we can select a sample of 20 from a population of 200. Now I have selected 14 students from urban area and 6 students from rural area. So this urban, 7 urban girl and 7 urban boy. So 14 students from urban area and 3 rural girl and 3 rural boy. So 6 rural students from rural area. So here also the 7:3 ratio is maintained. Similarly, when I have selected 20 students, you can see 10 of them are girls and 10 of them are boys. So 7 urban girls and 3 rural girls. So 3 plus 7, 10 girls here and 10 boys here. So here also the girl is to boy ratio of 1:1 is maintained. So as you can see, this ratio, or you can say the proportion based on residence or gender that was for the given population, the same ratio or proportion is also maintained while selecting the study subjects. So this is also important. With this, we conclude today's session on stratified random sampling. It is a very short topic. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel and share this video with your batchmates, juniors and friends from other colleges. We also have our Facebook page that you can follow. The link is given in the description. Take care and we shall see you in our next video.